We're all here today to celebrate the relationship of Hannah and Ryan and to be witnesses and supporters of the commitment they share with one another. Together, we are a group of the most important people in their lives. And they have brought us here today, and they have publicly recognized that we have all played some special part in the love that they share today. I've done some research on these two, and things get a little complicated at times. The stories that I heard from each one of them does not match. And that's the problem. Sometime in February of 2015, Anna was invited to a basketball game at Union by a friend. She did not want to go because she felt like she was tired and she needed to relax a little bit. But the friend was persistent, and since Hannah was an officer of the Warriors Club, she felt that maybe she should go. She met Ryan after the game, but he brushed her off. A couple of weeks later, there was another game in town, and she tried to talk to Ryan again, but got snubbed again. Then summer came and went, and back to school at Union, and Anna still thought that Ryan was rather cute, so she would give him a second look. But she got the cold shoulder again. Man, what's wrong with you? I remember the little bit. See what you almost did? We would have missed all the fun today. Now, in all fairness to Ryan, I know that he does notice the girls. I remember when we went to a soccer volleyball game at Walla Walla tournament, and there was a team there. They remember, there was a team there from Eureka. They were called the Gold Diggers. Remember that, Ryan? That's no good. Now, Campion did not have a girls' volleyball team up there at the time, and they did not have a soccer team. So they decided to support each other through the tournament, which was kind of nice. So the boys would go to see the girls play volleyball, and they would come and watch the boys play soccer. Everything went good. Just remember that a little bit into that, Ryan kind of spent a little more time watching the volleyball game than I was hoping to, because I wanted him to do a little practice. But he found some interesting girls in the other girls' team, so he went with the rest of the team to all the Gold Diggers games. I remember that. Ryan tells me that he remembers going to Union basketball tournaments before college, so while he was at Campion, and that he saw Anna a couple of times from a distance, and he thought that she was cute. So Hannah, I'm sorry, but Ryan did notice you sooner than you thought. Anyway, Ryan finally took the opportunity to talk to Hannah, and once he got going, he wouldn't pipe down. These are her words, not mine. Then he started walking her back to the dorm, and 1 minute to 11, one last little hug, and he'd have to run back to the dorm so he wouldn't be called late. But that sounds familiar. That 11 o'clock p.m. curfew, really tough when you're in love, yeah. But trouble was brewing in Horizon. Second semester, Anna planned to go to the Philippines as a student SM. Ryan felt lost, and he decided he was going to go to Southern instead. I was told he didn't like Union. Friends influence, But God had other plans. Hannah's passport problem stopped the trip to the Philippines, and she decided to stay. So did Ryan. And obviously today is the result of what God had in mind. I met Ryan a long time ago, when he was just a little runt in Pathfinders. You remember that? Then one day, I'm working in my backyard at Campion, and all of a sudden I hear this commotion in the back. There's an open field behind us, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And as I looked, I see a truck, I see Ryan, and I see Kyle. And as I'm looking at the truck, shouting going on, which is normal when Ryan is around, there was no one driving the pickup. So I took a double look. I'm watching as this pickup is driving at about 3-5 miles an hour down the open field. Kyle is on the top, and Ryan is chasing the pickup. And bales of hay are being thrown from the ground into the pickup, and Kyle is stacking them up on the top of the truck. And the truck just keeps going. Got to the end, they turn it around, and they continue going. I thought, wow, I always wondered what happened there, but it was quite ingenious, so I give you credit for that. Yes, Ryan, at times, you act like a cowboy. But I'm hoping that he has reformed from his exploits just a tad. Sorry to say, Hannah, but sometimes I worry for you. Let me explain what I mean by that. I'm holding a picture, and I have it on my phone. And Ryan and a gentleman named Michael Banta, remember that? During senior trip, are chasing little calves. And Ryan gets one, because he took it seriously, nobody else did. And then I see this picture, and I'm now really listening to you. I really want to hear the end of the story here. What in the world were you doing on the top of that calf, kissing it? And I have a picture to prove. As you grew up at Campion, I remember your first day of practice, soccer practice, since I did coach soccer at that time. And this kid shows up, and I knew who he was, but I knew he was a basketball player. So I watching what's going on for a little bit, and man, he sounded like he been played soccer for a whole life, and he really knew what he was doing. And I'm wondering, this guy doesn't have a clue what he's doing. He's never played soccer before. But you learn fast, and I'm very proud of you, who you've become, not only as an athlete, but as a man. Hannah, I only come to know you recently, so I don't have a lot of points yet, but I'm sure someone else will. And therefore, it is harder to have funny stories about you. I tried, but no one would tell me. They kept it good secret. I even tried one. She tried to tell me that, but she said, I'm going to do that myself. So I kept my mouth. But I'm sure your friends will fill in some of the gaps at the reception. You are soft-spoken, quiet, and sure of who you are and who you want to become. It is your duty, Ryan, to make sure that he accomplishes those goals. I told Ryan I will hold him accountable, so do not disappoint him. Otherwise, it will be push up time. Marriage gives permanence and structure to a couple's love. It is a way to tell one another that no matter how much you snore or how much you spend while at the mall shopping, you are still in this whole thing together. Marriage is telling the person that you love that you are not going anywhere. And that's a powerful commitment for two people to make to one another. We all have what we call a childhood dream, that when there is love, everything else goes like silk. But the reality is that marriage requires lots of compromises. Love develops slowly out of admiration, respect, and appreciation of someone's good character is the best kind of love. This becomes what I call profound love. Marrying for love alone is not very wise. Three things, because I believe that love is a changeable emotion. So that's not so good. Love alone does not make for a strong enough foundation. And third, love is far from all you need to be happy. You need profound love, a love that nurtures and flourishes each other's needs, and that will last a lifetime. A good marriage must be built on the foundation of this commitment. In marriage, the little things do matter, because they are the big things. It is never being too old to hold hands. It is never being to forget to open a target, or to say I love you at least once a day, maybe more. It's never going to bed angry. You say hungry, angry. It is standing together and facing the world. It is speaking words of appreciation and demonstrating gratitude in thoughtful ways in each other. It is having the capacity to forgive and forget. It is giving each other an atmosphere in which one can grow. It is a common search for the good and the beautiful. It's not only marrying the right partner, it's being the right partner. A successful marriage requires falling in love many times, but always with the same person. In the Bible, I found 1 Corinthians chapter 13, 4 through 8, and it tells us, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it's not proud, it's not rude, it's not self-seeking, it's not easily angered, and it keeps no record of any wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. We all want to give you some advice. I'm going to put my 2 cents in, okay? Learn how to agree to disagree. Okay? Do not try to change your spouse. Either one. Learn to adjust and compromise. Be fair to each other, but do not turn that into a 4-letter word. Ryan, it is important that women want to be listened to. Please remember that. And that we do not have to fix or solve every problem. It will take you a lifetime to figure out when to fix things and when to listen to the issues. Hannah, please be patient. Rome was not built in a day, and neither is a good marriage. You have an entire life to get it right, so do not rush the process. It takes 2 to tango, but it also takes 2 to tango. Please choose carefully. Have trust in each other and never do anything to break that trust. Take the time to have fun together every day and never lose the fine art of dating your mate. So enough advice for today, huh? Ryan and Hannah, the vows that you're about to make are a way to share your love and commitment to each other in your own words. These vows are your way of openly declaring your promise to one another, as well as to all of those who are here in attendance today.
Ryan, since I was about 15, I have been praying for you. And all the time I spent thinking of you and what you would be like, I never could have imagined how wonderful you would be. You have loved me from the beginning, without question, without expecting anything in return. You support me in my goals and aspirations, and you constantly push me to be a better version of myself. You work hard for us and for the family we plan to have someday. You put so much heart and soul into everything you do. I'm so blessed that someone so amazing, so loving, so kind, so generous chose me. I promise that from this day forward, nothing on this earth will come before you. I promise to wake up every day and choose you again and again, even if it was hard to love you the day before. I promise to support you, to care for you, and to show you the respect you deserve. I promise to stand by you when life is almost impossible. I promise to hold your hand through every hurdle, every sickness, every bad day, and every time the Broncos lose. You are my best friend, my biggest supporter, and my favorite person. And until my last day, I will always choose you.
Oh boy.
My dearest Hannah, when I was younger, a wise man told me that when I get married, he needed to be there. When I asked why, he said that whoever could put up with me must either be a little bit crazy or a truly special person. Thankfully, he was right on both accounts. And we were able to convince him to officiate our wedding. You truly are a blessing, and I can't imagine my life without you. I promise to put you first in my life, ahead of everyone and everything else. I promise to continue to work on our relationship and to help us grow closer to God together. I will always be there to support you and protect you, no matter where we go or what we do. You are the kindest and most thoughtful person that I've met. Your adventurous spirit and radiant smile made me fall head over heels for you almost immediately. You've always been there for me and supported me. Through the ups and downs, you've been right by my side, and I promise to be there for you too. I promise to always love you and always do my best to not get upset when you ask me to do chores during the football game. Before we started dating, I told you that I was going to marry you. I've never been happier to be right about something in my life. I can't believe that this day is already here and that we get to spend the rest of our lives together. You're my absolute best friend, and I can't imagine my life without you. Hannah, I love you, and I promise I always will.
Hannah and Ryan have chosen the theme of service in their commitment to each other today. The primary purpose of foot washing is to renew the cleansing that only comes from Jesus Christ. The ceremony also celebrates reconciliation to each other and renews a commitment to serve each other just as Jesus served us by his gift of salvation. The ordinance shows honor and humility to each other. In this symbol of service to each other, Ryan and Hannah will care for each other throughout their marriage and emulate Christ in all they do. They will in turn be able to unite in one purpose, to serve the world and make it a better place. prayer at this time. Dear Hannah and Ryan, let the glory of heaven shine upon you today and forever. Please always remember that God is always there near you, ready to protect you, ready to bless you, and to keep you safe. In Jesus' name. Anna and Ryan will now exchange rings to symbolize their commitment to each other. Rings are derived from humble beginnings of imperfect metals to create something that is strikingly beautiful, where there was nothing at all before. It is customarily worn on the ring finger, as it is the only finger with a vein running directly to your heart. The wearing of the ring is a visible outward sign that they have committed themselves to one another. I give you this ring as a symbol of our love.
I give you this ring as a symbol of our love
For today and tomorrow and for all the days to come.
for today, tomorrow, and all the days to come.
Wear it as a sign of what we have promised on this day,
Wear it as a sign of what we promised on this day,
and know that my love is present even when I am not.
and know that my love is present even when I am not.
I give you this ring as a symbol of our love
I give you this ring as a symbol of our love
for today and tomorrow and for all the days to come.
for today and tomorrow and all the days to come.
Wear it as a sign of what we've promised on this day,
Wear it as a sign of what we promised on this day.
and know that my love is present even when I am not.
Know that my love is present even when I am not.
Hannah and Ryan, you've professed your love by exchanging your vows. You've promised a life of honor and service to each other and to God through the ordinance of humility. You have symbolized your commitment by exchanging rings, and you have expressed the end of your individual lives by the statements you've made. By sharing your vows and exchanging rings here today, you've both decided to share the rest of your lives together. You are no longer two separate people, but one couple together. Because of what you have committed, I have one more question that I need each of you to answer, and then we'll be off to the races. Actually, we're off to the reception to celebrate. Anna, do you take Ryan to be your husband, to live together in the covenant of marriage? Do you promise to love him, comfort him, honor him, and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others? Be faithful to him as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Ryan, do you take Hannah to be your wife, to live together in the covenant of marriage? Do you promise to love her, comfort her, honor her, and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others? Be faithful to her as long as you both shall live?
I do.
With you forever. By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. What God has brought together, let no man separate or break. And this is the moment that Ryan has been waiting for all his life. You may now kiss the bride. It is my great honor and privilege to be the first to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Ryan Rusholt,